We're recording.
We call the meeting to order, 6 p.m. for the public safety meeting for, I'm sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
September 11th, 2023. Okay, we'll stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Everyone, place your heart over your heart and say with me, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I've been tasked with doing the prayer / invocation on such a horrible day to remember. Yes. 9/11. Oh God, God of all nations, look with favor upon this city. Look with favor upon this great nation. Today when we remember the horrific evil that you allowed, we don't know why. We don't know why you allow evil to exist, but we do know of your unfailing love for us. Be our source of strength, of healing and comfort as our wounds still bleed, even in this city. God of compassion, help us to forgive and help us to heal those who died, the immigrants, the servers, the Muslims, the Christians, the not believers, the Chinese, the Anglo, everyone, the children, everyone who suffered that day, we remember, Lord, and we trust that you have their names written in your eternal mind. We praise you no matter what. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move to roll call. Welcome. And roll call, Susie?
Commissioner Guzman,
Present.
Commissioner Kelly, advised of her absence. Commissioner Walters,
Here.
Commissioner Carrillo,
Here.
Commissioner Roberson, advised of his absence. Commissioner Simpson,
Present.
Chair Cervantes,
Here.
Commissioner Sims,
Here.
Commissioner Canaz.
Here.
We have four.
Yes, we do. Next, do we have any public comments?
We do.
Okay.
Doug Wheeler.
Welcome, Doug.
Good evening. Chief and other distinguished personnel and commissioners. Glad to see you. I am the president of the Belvedere Neighborhood Association. Of course, we all know that's up near San Manuel Reservation. I bring for you today issues that my constituents have in the area, whether they be sending me emails or text messages or at a meeting that we have, about the traffic that is up there on given days, whether it may be a concert or it's a public event of some sort up there in the area, a casino. And what it is a lot of them are complaining, and I know you've all heard the complaints, but recently there was apparently a Paramount issue that happened up there where the traffic literally was so bad that people could not go from Highland and Victoria to the entrance to the casino in about 35, 40 minutes. That's normally on a good day with the wind blowing, it's about a 2-minute drive. So, and I've been a victim of that myself, but this time I've learned that you don't go there. But the problem we're having and the problem that they're existing and trying to deal with is the fact that there are people that are coming in from all sides of the casino. They're coming in from all streets of the casino's entrance. They're coming from up Orange Street and they're going around to Holly Circle Drive, which is up there in the north end of town over by Orange Street at the top of that, and it's not an access. They're also trying to go up Arden and go into the back access off of Piedmont. That's closed to anybody that's trying to get in. That's basically an entrance and an exit for the personnel that work there. So that's closed off. And then they're also trying to get off at Waterman or Del Rosa and come up Linwood and make a U-turn there at Citrus, and they're blocking that whole area off, and they're doing things in the area, and I've seen it numerous times, and it's like I try to avoid the whole place most of the time. But the bottom line is the traffic is just horrendous at the best on a good day with a concert or something like that going on. I don't know if there's something we could do. I don't think there's probably much of a solution other than the fact that maybe a little more directional, you know, for people. It's like if we get to Highland and Sterling, or Highland and Victoria right there, and if it's a situation where they're blocking traffic for anybody that's going westbound on Highland Avenue or anybody that's trying to get through the intersection there because they're trying to get up the street, it gets ridiculous. And that's a lot of the complaints. A lot of the complaints are that people are blocking the streets in the neighborhood there. And you know, there's over 2,000 people that live in that area. And they're getting a little upset, and they're sending notes, and they probably have seen notes to the chief and the PD and everything else. But I know that they can't do a whole heck of a lot. I just wanted to bring it to your attention and to know that the people in the area are getting upset, and they want to see if there's anything we can do.
Thank you, Doug.
That's it.
We'll hand that over to PD. We do have some officers that are assigned to that specific, area. I don't know how many chiefs there he knows, but and we can talk to Captain about what we can, if we can utilize those officers that are there and maybe tribal police and see what we can do about that. If you're welcome to stay after, or you can get a card from Captain Carrington. He can call you if you want any other additional.
Thank you.
We heard you.
I know.
You have a great day.
Thank
you
you
for coming in.
Thank you, Doug.
Okay, so we're moving on to the approval of the draft minutes. Everybody got them ahead of time, and we all probably reviewed them. Emailed, right? If there's any corrections or anything that we need? If not, we'll get a motion to move to approve those minutes from August 14th.
Move to approve.
Okay, and second. Okay, and any, all for and opposed? None? Okay, we'll move on to the next. No presentations too? None. Discussion. We have a discussion that I put on the calendar, on our agenda to discuss, which is our bylaws with regards to review of the resolution number 32, establishing the Public Safety Commission. I put that on there so we can discuss, because at our last meeting we had a discussion that probably went, not as planned, but we are an advisory committee. I'm going to go around the table and then we'll discuss on what we think about any questions about our bylaws, our duties, everything that we're supposed to be as a commission, as commissioners. But I do want to say that when I asked you all last meeting that we be more active within the community, meaning know your ward, know who your DRs are in your area, know what's going on in your ward. That's not something that you are required to do. We are an advisory committee. Whatever you bring forward to this table is appreciated, because somebody picked you and thought that you were going to be a strong person here for their ward. And I believe that we all bring something different to the table. Some of us are a little bit more passionate, a little bit stronger. Some of us are a little quiet and a little bit, but we're all effective, I believe, in our wards and our community. So I'll go around, and if you have any questions or any comments or anything, we'll just discuss that and then move to the next. Okay, so I'll start with Commissioner Sims.
And as it relates, just for clarity, specifically about the bylaws and our positions as commissioners. Absolutely. I don't have anything to say. I would say one of the things that I take responsibility for, and kind of a tool that I use in the community, there's this book that we read as a leadership team at our church. It's called How to Lead When You're Not in Charge. And sometimes, as commissioners, it's so many different levels of leadership in a government or in a city or any type of organization. Sometimes the challenge is finding our spot. How do we do it? We're not the person voting in certain things, but I do want to just put it on the table. One of the tools that we all can use is influence. Everyone at this table has influence, at least with someone. The goal is to make sure that we're kind of getting on the same page and make sure we're pushing the things that the city is pushing. We don't necessarily have to create anything. Us showing up, us being here is enough. And I do want to say thank you to everyone who has been putting in the effort. And to those who haven't, I know it's challenging, right? But if all else fails, just wing it. No, not just playing. I don't really mean that. But what I am saying is, partial truth. But use your influence. Like I was talking to Junior, and I'll stop after this. I was talking to him earlier about Coffee with a Cop, and I've been to probably 3 different districts. And he was like, well, how many people is at this district? I was like, about 7. Then he said, how many people at this one? I was like, about 10. He said, well, you know how many comes to mind? And he said, about 60. I was like, wow. Yeah. In my mind, I'm like thinking, how's that possible? But Junior is, he's a good representation of using his influence. He said, because I call 40 people, a phone call is easy. I mean, if you're like me, I'm kind of lazy. I'll send a text blast. I'll just copy the message, just send it to everybody. But that's using your influence to make sure that we're building this city. Everyone has a part. And I think if we all at least commit to that, we'll see some better days.
Thank you. Awesome.
And I appreciate that, and I'll echo that. And I read that book, so it was actually a great book. And for me, not necessarily a question on the bylaws, but I'm a person who loves context. And just for that, good evening, everyone. My name is Rakayla Simpson. I am from the 6th Ward. I was born and raised in San Bernardino. I'm a 3rd generation San Bernardino, so I love it here, and I just think we're like the best place on earth, right? I really do. And so I went to school at Spelman College. It's the #1 historically black college in the nation. It's an all-black women's college, and I studied health science with a minor in public health. And so that's kind of the perspective I bring. So I believe that there are experiences in all of our lives, whether it's through like formal schooling or just like, life is just life, and we have just different experience, right? That gives us like a paradigm shift, a perspective shift, and it alters the way in which we see the world. And I think that by me studying public health, that was my paradigm shift. I think that everything is a public health concern, right? Whether it's the number of stoplights we have, the number of street signs that we have, if there's crosswalks, again, the way in which our policemen and our fire chiefs show up, like all of those are public health concerns, right? And so I was like, ooh, the Public Health and Human Relations Commission, like, yes, right? Because I think that shift is important. I think that we don't take into or not necessarily we don't take into consideration, but I think that we overlooked the importance of this commission, but then also the aspect that public health plays in our daily lives. And so for me, I'm just more so interested in just the context of this commission. So the history, why it got started, the inspiration behind it, who started it, why, again, what was the climate, how is that climate different or similar to what we're experiencing today, and how have we progressed? Because from my understanding, I think this was like 80s, I think that the commission was founded here, possibly, right? And so I'm just interested in that whole aspect and how, again, it's showing itself right now, but then also how do we move through that, right? And so I appreciate you for the opportunity, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you individually as well as a collective and all the work that we can do moving forward. So thank you so much.
And by the way, welcome our new commissioner.
Welcome.
Maybe she doesn't know everybody, but you'll get to meet us as we
Thank you
go.
so
Welcome.
much.
Commissioner Guzman.
Sure. Just a comment on Commissioner Rakayla Simpson. You're a San Bernardino person, born and raised, and you said that this is the best place on earth. I echo that with one question. Angelina, people in LA are called Angelinos. You live here. What are we called?
So people say San Bernardinians. I'm looking for a better name for us, kind of.
What are we called?
The overall name that I'm hearing is San Bernardinians. But I think that as a collective, we might be able to find a better name for that.
Verdugo.
Verdugo. Okay, you know, we can hold that. We can hold that. No, right. No, right. No, right.
Well,
Commissioner,
no, sure. Well, with that in mind, I just realized it's been I'm going to hit the 2-year mark of being involved in this commission, and I've been tasked with a calling, and that is to help change the city.
Amen.
And not to have the power myself, because my arms are very short. I can only do so much. And I will remember how I got involved. I got involved because of my involvement in the pro-immigrant movement, and how my previous organization sent me to the meetings with Chief Bergeron, and I was able to see that the care that the police department, among other departments, had. And then see a near tragedy right outside my house. And that sparked me, it was the shooting of what I thought was a San Bernardino policeman, and it turned out to be sheriff, on Bobbitt and Olive. And the patrol car went up in flames in front of everyone. Bullets had just flown, and those bullets could have landed on my kids, who were outside at the time on the trampoline, and several other trampolines outside. So I said, no, we can't wait. Immediately, the day after, giant graffiti showed up at the wall, and I couldn't stand it. I went around spreading flyers and grabbed a bucket of paint, and decided, well, if the bullets got some, it's got to be me. So I put... Anyway, ever since then, I have not been able to raise a community neighbors association at least as active as yours has, because neighbors don't get along, and it's very hard to move that. But with the support and blessing of Teddy Sanchez, incredible things are being done at what used to be Waterman Gardens. Yep, that's my area. And so I'm here in, I think my role is clear. It comes down to a calling to speak and to do as limited things as I can with my short arms. And I believe I'm surrounded by great people. And I hear it. And thank you. That's where so many thoughts could be said. I'll say those for now. Thank you.
Commissioner Chris?
When Fred nominated me for this, I had some thoughts, and I thought, I just don't want to be on a commission to be on a commission. I mean, nothing worse than somebody says, you're going to a meeting, and say, why? Because we're having a meeting. I mean, it had to have a purpose, and I told Fred, will it make a difference? I mean, I have no desire to come to a meeting to get a title of a commissioner, to sit on it. I do absolutely zero. So that was my first. The other thing is, some of us work, some of us don't. Some of them are married, some have little kids, some have health. There's so many different things that plays into your commissioner role that some of us are more limited. I'm retired. I got nothing but time. I mean, last month I had 23 meetings. This month up to now, I have 18. And you know what? I'll go to any meeting that makes a difference. I mean, I had the pleasure of going to Commissioner Sims' church, and we had a meeting there. And, you know, anything that's going to help the city, I'm all in. But we got to have a purpose. I mean, I get involved in neighborhood associations because I want to know what's going on. And I'm like Commissioner Guzman. We can only do so much, but together we can do a lot. You know, if I can help anybody because I got more time, or my health's better, or I don't have a 5-year-old or a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old, it makes a huge difference. But we're all in it together. And to me, if we could just join hands and say, how can we make this town better? How can we help the PD? How can we help Public Works? How can we help fire? That's our responsibility. And we're doing more than majority of the city by just being a commissioner. So bear that in mind, that you may think, well, I'm really not doing a lot. Just being a commissioner is a lot, because a lot of people don't even want to do that. So that's a huge plus. So I would say get involved in your neighborhood association. You know, that's in the evening, because a lot of us work. Coffee with the Cop is another great one. I constantly look on Nextdoor. I know a lot of people are on Nextdoor. I look for the complainers, and I get the complainers to come to the meeting. I said, you know, you go meet our officers, and then you tell them what you're telling me on Nextdoor. You get to meet them and let them address your issues. And guess what? We have right now at Eastern District, we have 9 people coming to Coffee with a Cop that were bad-mouthing the PD when I found them. And now they're not, because they understand. They just don't, a lot of people just don't understand how much PD is limited, how much is fire is limited, how much is public works. But once they find out what they can do, it's awesome. I mean, I rode around with Doug. I mean, I don't have an association where I live, but Doug's is the closest one. We ride around. We don't care what ward we are. We don't care what district. You know, if we can help the city, we're all about it. So that's it. In a
Thank you,
nutshell.
Commissioner Creel. Commissioner Walters.
Yes, well, I've been on the police commission and public safety for 12 years.
Yeah.
One of the longest serving. And I was chairman and vice chair for about 5 years. So, and when the IRC shooting and everything, I was right behind the chief and all the stuff going on and everything, trying to, you know, and I try to meet in different areas around in Third Ward, and I'm going to do a seminar. I've been a law enforcement for 40 years, you know, so I do a public safety seminar I'm going to meet with the managers and everything of Sequoia Mobile Home Park on Foothill.
Oh, okay.
And so I do that. I did another one on the border is Colton, I forgot. It was a senior place. So I do about 2 or 3 of them a year and stuff. And it general safety, police things, and stuff, mostly for seniors and everything, but
That's
for
good.
stuff, things
They
to
need
do in
that.
the fires
That's
and stuff like that. And I've had people come up and say, well, we had a fire and then you helped what you told us to do, you know, and everything. It helped a lot. So I do all I can on it. I enjoy the commission, and God bless everybody that takes their time to do this. You know, and I'm always willing to help in whatever, you know. If I see a policeman need help, I go up there and do what I have to do. You know? That's all.
Thank you. Commissioner Kim.
Well, the disadvantage of going last is everyone said everything. I don't have much to add. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I see all of your enthusiasm and passion for the city. I too am a longtime resident. I, again, hate saying how long because it gives away my age, but it's been quite a long time. And I see our city making significant strides, and a lot is attributed to our PD. So,
Amen.
the best advice that I can give, you know, is we all show up. We all show up differently, of course, like you said, Junior, because we have different, you know, responsibilities and priorities in our life. But we do show up, and I think supporting one another as we go along. I think this commission will continue to evolve as time goes on. So I just appreciate all of you guys, and thank you.
Appreciate you.
Commissioner. And then I'll just have the final. You know, I appreciate commissioners. I'm a new chair. This is my first time serving on a commission. I have years I was involved in the city of Rialto PD, when I was 19 years old. And that's when I started my advocacy, or whatever you want to call it, with law enforcement and the cities. So this commission is real important to me because when I moved to San Bernardino, it needed, you know, a lot. And the first thing we needed was, I'm not saying that all the chief of police were bad, but we needed someone like Chief to come in, and we've seen strides. No, I mean, I'm active. I mean, not obviously as active as you. You have 18, but I'm active, and I'm right there when the police are right there in the neighborhood. I'm like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? And when I talked to Chief, something stuck to me. One thing you told me was about the Walmart thing, and I will tell all your officers that. Chief told me that you're going to do customer service like this. you know how much of a difference that makes when people come to us, public comments or anything, when we just listen and we respond and we address those issues? It's real important in a city like ours, because we're a city that's always in the negative in the paper, always in the negative of everything. San Bernardino is just not, you don't ever hear much positive. So it's important that we do focus on the positive and that our commissioners know each of our wards. Whether you're, my last meeting, what I wanted from the commissioners is, hey, go out to your Route 66, where you're going to see the community. That's where all the community comes, all the wards. Route 66, National Night Out. We want to get the word out there that we exist. We're here to help our community with their issues in public safety, fire, and police. That we are the connection to police, to public works and fire. That we are trying to get people to find their resolve issues here at our commission before they go and spend 2 hours of yelling at council. They could just come to us, right?
Yeah.
And they can say, hey, commissioners, we're having this, and then we can do what we can with our directors and the people that we are connected to help them before, so they don't have to go to the council and waste our council's time. Council has more than enough issues they have to battle. But one thing we do have to is, I'm a team player. I don't know if you noticed that. I'll play with you anywhere you want to play, even if I don't like you. I'm a team player. I'm here for the purpose. I'm here for what I'm here for, and I'm easy to talk to. If I say something or do something that's not appropriate or whatever on the commission, you need to tell me. Commissioner, you said this and I didn't take that well. Then I'm going to correct that, because that's just who I am. I want a team, like a football team. You can't win if you're not a team, because you have that one guy that wants to hold the ball or he wants to not pass it, right? We need to be working together as a team, working forward in a city that needs us to be strong, like the police department's getting. Now we have to start making it stronger in all our little commissions and our departments. It's going to take time. But I'm real happy to be here and work with all of you, and I'm real open to anything. And I'm so glad that we have so many different people that bring different things to the table. Because, we can go to any one of you, hey, you can help us with this, or you can help us with this, and we can all just team together and make a difference in the time we have here on the commission. Right? So I think that discussion was good, and if we have any further issues or anything in the future, then just bring it to the table with, even call me. You guys don't have my number, call me. Hey, this is what's going on, can we do this? And I'm so open to new things, because we are a new commission. So we're going to bring what we know to the table, right? So I'm glad, guys. It was a good conversation. Are we good? Everybody good? No further? Oh, good.
One thing that I would like to share is, we can't have gossip in this commission. I mean, if you've got a problem with me, like our chair says, just come to that person. The worst thing I can do is, reach over to John and say, hey, did you know what so-and-so said? You know what, if I have a problem with so-and-so, I need to go talk to so-and-so, because it's a team, and the worst thing that can happen is we break down a team when we have gossip. So, we're all working together. We're all human. We're going to make mistakes. There's nobody perfect, including myself. But, we need to work together. What I've enjoyed about the chief, he came in, he didn't do anything. He just looked, observed, and then decided what he needed to do. He didn't come in and say, well, we're just going to clean house and we're going to start over. No, he observed, and he didn't say, I was going to do this, I was going to do that. And a year later, look at the progress he's made without having to say a word. It's not about saying anything, it's about results. And that's what I love about our chief, is we're seeing results without having to say I. I've never heard him say I. He puts his team first, he puts his men first, his women first. And that's awesome. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, and we're going to move to 4 staff reports. And we don't have any staff reports. New business. Now we'll go to announcements. I'm going to go to our, you want me to, I think I'm going to go to police first to do their announcements. And then we'll move to the next. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, hello, everybody. Don't get to come to these meetings often, but I thought I'd stop in and say hello to all the new commissioners and tell you much of what you've already said, which is how important your jobs are. I will tell you wholeheartedly, I believe strongly that there's no greater issue facing our community or any other community than public safety. We have a great partnership with the community, with our partners in safety, fire department, and all of you are a huge component of that. Something was said, and I think unanimously, and that's your passion, your commitment to be on this commission makes a difference, and it really does. And I want you to understand that the main thing that I need from you as the chief is your honesty, your communication with us when you hear things, when you have problems with things. Let's maintain that partnership in solving problems. What I never want to have is an adversarial relationship, and I know that doesn't exist, but I want you to hear it from me that I don't want that to ever happen, because we're in this together. As you have seen, we're serious about trying to make a difference in the city. I'm very much committed to that, but I can't do it alone. I have a phenomenal team. That's the reason I don't have to show up to these meetings. Because I have my fantastic duo here that makes sure that I stay appraised of every single thing that's going on. But I also want you to know that your role in going out into the community, and I've seen a lot of you before, you were commissioners, active in the community, coming to our events, participating in everything that has to do with moving the city forward. Continue to do that through your council members. It's very important. They don't always agree on much, but what we want them to always agree on is the importance of public safety, and you as members of the Safety Commission can help support that value. So thank you for being on the commission, and thank you for all you are doing and will continue to do. There's a couple of things going on with us, and I'll share some of them with you. We have Wednesday night, we have our DA, Jason Anderson, coming out, and he's going to participate in our Civil Liberties and Youth meeting. And it's a training program to help young people understand what their civil rights are and what they're able to do and say and what they can expect from encounters with the police. And it's from a DA's perspective. He's allowing them to ask questions and provide information so that they understand very well how to handle encounters with the police legally. So that'll be a very important meeting to come to if you're able. It starts at 6 p.m. At the police department. It'll be in our main training room upstairs. On the 19th, we have our citywide district Coffee with a Cop at a variety of locations. Western District will be at Burger Point on Mount Vernon. The Northern District will be at Shandon Hills Golf Club, Little Mountain Drive. The Eastern District will be at Baby and Family Center. That's 403 East Highland, next to St. Bernardine's.
The times?
They're all at 9 a.m. All of them are at 9 a.m. They start at the same time, and they're in different locations throughout the city. And the final one, the Southern District, will be at Studio D in the Chase Building. On October 4th, we have our Dollars for Dogs fundraiser, and that will be at the Mexico Cafe. We haven't confirmed the time, but we'll give you updates on that. But just mark the date as a holding a calendar, October the 4th. And then on October the 11th, for those of you that missed it last year, we have our Cuptoberfest at the police station. We're expecting that to be a great event, spectacular turnout. A lot of people at the conclusion of last year's immediately asked, are we doing it again next year? So we are by popular demand. So love to see you all come out and represent. And finally, we talked a lot about the work that's being done by my team. I just want to give you some stats for August. And this is just 1 month. We recovered 94 firearms, 243 pounds of methamphetamine, 107 pounds of cocaine, 169 pounds of fentanyl, 363 felony arrests, and 547 misdemeanor arrests. A lot of great work being done, a lot of effort by every single person in our station, and we do it because we care about the city and we're passionate about making it better, and we thank you for your continued support.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. And we're moving to fire. Any updates, anything?
Yeah, good evening. The only update I'll provide is, I think I shared at the last meeting, we have a groundbreaking ceremony for Fire Station 226, which is Ward 2, that's scheduled for September 19th. If you drive by there today, we actually started construction on the site today. So it's another, again, step forward, positive step. We are also having a community meeting with the at Arnold Elementary School for Fire Station 227 in partnership with the school district. What we're looking to is to listen to the community, see what their needs are, and see if we can't provide some opportunity to improve the school site, as well as build a new fire station there at that location. So if all goes well, we'd have a new fire station completed in 2024, and then a new fire station 2025. And then lastly, we are planning an open house on October 6th at Fire Station 221. This coincides with Fire Prevention Week that is established by the National Fire Protection Agency, NFPA. So that concludes fire's report.
No, I'm sorry, on the 19th, was there a time that you're doing that conference?
I believe it's scheduled for 10 o'clock.
10? Okay.
How about the open house for Station 221?
Open house will be at 10 o'clock
10 to 10.
Do you know the address for that?
on 203rd Street.
That's October 6th.
Which one are we talking about?
The sixth, the open house.
Open house, that's 203rd Street.
Commissioner Crew.
Chief, like our police chief suggested to us, what events do we need to support you in? What events do you want us to come to? I mean, do you want us to come to these? Would it be good for us to support you in that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can come out and support those two significant, considering this is the first fire station being built in the city in, I want to say, 30 plus years. I think it'd be a significant opportunity for the community to have you out there supporting it.
Okay, that's awesome. We want to give you the same privilege to give PD and support you just as much as PD. So we appreciate what you do, Chief.
Public, sorry, Commissioner.
You said 32, 34 years?
It's been about 30 years when I did the research, yes.
30 years. That's amazing. And I want to let you all know I'm not afraid to be naive, so I'm going to ask a lot of clarifying questions. How many fire stations are throughout San Bernardino City?
9.
9, okay. And then what are the ward separations?
So if you go to the city's website, under the ward section, there's, I believe, 4 different maps. If you click on the larger map and click in onto which ward and zoom in a little bit, it takes a little bit, but you can actually see the fire station locations.
Okay, I can appreciate that. And I was just asking because I just remember when we were doing the makeshift hurricane that we were having, and they were saying like our local fire stations will be giving out sandbags, and I was like, I don't have a fire station in my right, and so then I was wondering where was the next place to go to, and so I looked at like a list of the locations, but it was like from 2018, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't think that we have ours in our area. And so I was just wondering, how does someone go and find that information? So 9, and then that website.
And your fire station is Fire Station 229, which is almost on the border of Rialto.
Okay.
So one of the, part of our strategic plan is, as we look to analyze and do some response modeling, is to bring that station closer into the city for response, better responses. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Everybody else? Okay, so we'll go to public works.
Just a couple of small things. I did talk about at one of our previous meetings that I tried to get a CRM category for street sweeping. Instead of creating a new one, they decided to put that under street maintenance. So anyone with street sweeping issues, they can report it online under street maintenance and make sure they mention that they're having street sweeping issues. And just to kind of respond to what you told me before about the website directing people to the trash, like the trash issues to the city website, we just added Vertex communicate or contact information to that page and just kind of made it up front and center, and also kind of separated that we handle legal dumping, and then but all the other trash issues go to Vertex. So that's the only announcement I have. Mrs. On has something.
Next month we'll be presenting the results of the 28th Street traffic calming measures.
Okay.
So I hope the individuals from the community will show up so they can see the results.
Okay. Again, that's our next meeting, and we're bringing that.
It will be in October,
Okay,
second
not
meeting. But
I cannot get hold of them. Okay. And Commissioner Trio?
Anything we can do for Public Works to support you. I mean, you know, we want to do what's right. And if we're gonna do it for fire, we're gonna do it for PD. We want to do Public Works, and whatever we can do to support you, we want you to know that we're behind you also, and we appreciate what you do. So if there's an event coming up that you'd like us there, give us an opportunity to attend.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Okay, we'll move to now, we're going to move to our commissioners on what's going on in their wards and their area, any announcements or anything. I'll start with Kim, because she was last time. Ask Commissioner Knapp. What's going on?
No updates for this meeting. No updates for this meeting.
No updates?
No.
Okay. Commissioner Walter?
No, I think I already
Okay.
spoke about
Commissioner
everything.
No, it just, it's been a pleasure riding around with Doug, the president of Belvedere, and just looking for issues. I mean, we're looking to address issues, make our city better. And I mean, it's just being involved in the city, you know, you don't even have to say anything. I mean, last meeting, we got together with fire afterwards, and we talked about a couple buildings. Doug mentioned it. They're out for demo. I mean, it just happens that quick. I mean, it's all about communication. If you don't communicate, it's not going to get done. You know, all we got to do is communicate. And
We're not out trying to find work, it's already there.
oh, it's already done?
We already find work, work is all over.
So it just happens so quick.
Okay, Commissioner Gisman?
Yes, thanks. Two, not so much announcements or comments. I was very pleased by Ms. Uhura say that we handle the illegal dumping as opposed to Vertec. I want to basically announce that I'm very pleased with Vertec taking on the monthly community dump days.
Yep.
That has done tremendous healing, if I can call it cleanup healing, to my community, my area. I have organized several rounds of us neighbors doing. Thank you. That's right. Thank you. And I'm one of the promoters of this in my neighborhood. And so we go as neighbors and clean up the big areas around our block, and it looks better.
Amen.
Now, so I'd like to keep promoting this. And the second thing is the app for the city. Go SB City. SB City, go SB City. And it's amazing. Now, I will soon get statistics if I'm able to connect with Officer Christian of yes of
More Christian? Is that what you're?
yes.
Yeah, that's
Code
the,
enforcement.
yeah, code enforcement
Oh,
manager.
excellent. I'd like to get some statistics, but besides the statistics, the change is obvious. So, you know, SB City has an app to report any wrong things that the city needs to improve on, including dump days, including illegal dumping, including potholes. We're going up. So
Yes.
anyway, I'll stop my announcement there. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Take a picture of that?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, it's on our website.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
you can download it from our website. It's under environmental.
Thank you for that note. And then I'm wondering the solution to illegal dumping.
There's three.
What do you think the solution is?
Putting cameras everywhere, jailing everybody, and, you know, that's one way to do it.
Okay.
Let's start with number two.
But the real thing is to make people aware. I'm going to post these things everywhere in my community, so people, late at night, they don't have an excuse. Cameras are the next step, but those are expensive, and who's going to watch them anyway? And Lights, neighbors have put on strong lights.
What we
But
can do,
this is
Commissioners, is
it.
we can put this on the agenda to discuss, and we can get ideas if we're having issues within our wards, and we can do that. Just for now, we'll stick to announcements, and then we'll add it to our agenda.
Thank you.
And I was
Does
just
that
thinking
work?
out loud. No,
Does that work?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so
Um,
Simpsons.
So I would
Anything
say
in your
to
report?
that point, so on 7th and Medical Center across the street from Ramona Alessandro, there is a dumping situation that is taking place, I think, actively. But I think the solution to that is more dumpsters, possibly, because you can't jail everybody or and so that's one. And then two. Yep, that's my one. That's my one. And I just appreciate you all, and just
So any updates from your ward, though? What's going on in your ward? Do you have any announcements?
No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Simpson. Commissioner Sims, you have some.
Got a long list.
I know,
Okay,
I know.
there it is. Number one, I want to give a shout out and kind of like pick on San Bernardino PD for the Badgers versus Ballers.
Oh, yes, I heard.
They didn't tell me that they recruited
They didn't warn
NBA
you,
players.
right?
They had ringers.
I didn't know it. So we had like an officer like dunking on a 5-year-old. It was crazy. I was like, this should be illegal, right? Jail them for that. But it was amazing though. Like just to see how many kids were out there, and really the community. Like one of my life missions, like is really to bridge the gap, like between sectors, like from community to like council to like PD to like the regular like citizen or resident in our community. Like that really makes me happy because it was all types of kids out there. Like it wasn't just one demographic, it wasn't just one ward, and to see everyone kind of coming together. It was my youngest son's birthday. Everybody sung him happy birthday. Like it was great. And I just want to shout out to PD for making that happen. We had a lot of community members there. It was amazing. And I just want to see more of that. Not just in one specific place, but we should always be, our goal as a commission should be to bridge that gap.
Amen.
Like, if you guys talk to community members, you would get all types of responses about PD, and most of which is not true, but it's just because whatever the main thing that's being publicized right now, that's what people kind of gravitate towards. So it's our job to really highlight events like that. I posted it on social media because it was great. Number two, the symphony at the park was amazing as well. I felt like I was in Orange County. Like shout out to Liddy for that, and it was safe. Like everyone felt like comfortable enough to be in that setting. I think it was great. Just to see everybody come out. And that brings me to my last point. I would like to propose something for the NETS agenda. I sent everyone an email about the Take Back Our Parks kind of initiative. I want to say that PD and Public Works and Parks and Rec are doing an amazing job. The only missing thing from our community is the community. Like, it makes no sense to have a clean park and no one's there sliding down the slide. Like, it's just kind of odd to me. That's what brings more people to kind of like displaced community to sleep at the park. Because if we do spend the dollars, the city spends a lot of dollars cleaning up areas. You guys spend a lot of dollars policing the areas. We just have to figure out a way to get the community members at the park. So the goal was to figure out how we can kind of complicate the web, in a sense, to get all organizations on this initiative just to bring people to the parks. That's it. Like if there's a single mom, and we kind of discussed it with Junior, it's hard for a single mom with a 3-year-old to walk her 3-year-old to the park and feel safe, especially if the reputation is that someone at the park could present some type of form of danger. So we got to figure out how we can come together, and we partner with the school district to do it, with school police, with San Bernardino PD. Shout out for you guys bringing Captain Luna, I believe, to the meeting.
Yes.
He was great. He was open. So I think we should discuss it, especially because we're talking about making more impact as a commission. People need to know that we exist.
That's right.
Yes.
Like, I think this last Saturday, I sat in a meeting with a bunch of community members, and they was talking about different ways that they can advocate. And the goal of that meeting was to figure out, okay, who do we need to talk to? And everyone said, we need to talk to city council. We need to talk to the board of supervisors. We need to talk to our assembly members. No, actually, the commissioner meetings are recorded. Like, you can come here, you can say whatever you want to say, and it's our job to kind of pass along that information.
Amen.
So this is the easiest way to change the community. If you go to those city council meetings, you're going to be sitting there for 5 hours waiting on your public comment. and it's like, that's ridiculous. There's no way right now you can say here until we get packed in here. But I would like to propose that, Susie, just to figure out if we can have more conversation around that. One of the things we're putting on an event that kind of highlights all the commissions. I think that'd be great, like especially if we were able to partner with Parks and Rec Commission to figure out what we can do in the city to really just promote the work that we're already doing in the community. So those are the things I had, and yeah, that's that.
Thank you, Commissioner Sims. So I'm final and last before we go to the next, number 7. What we did in the ward is I had a cleanup day on September 9th. I usually do that every other month. And we clean up areas that we feel are in need, so like 30th Street. That's always a need between 40th. And we just clean up. And then we put our bags on Marshall and Valencia, and then we just do this every other month. Our last one is in November, so that's what I did in our ward over the weekend. I'd like to say that I thought that our discussion about what our duties are, or what we can bring to the table was good for all of us, and I want you guys to know that we're open for that. Like you said, the parks and the police, all those things that you said and that we need to do is important in our city. And we can do it as a commission.
Yes.
Because it says we're advisory committee, but it also doesn't say what we can't do. We can be out in the community. We can show our face, and like you said, I've been many events where they said, "Commissioner for what?
Yeah.
Or what are you going to do?"
Yeah.
And that's their attitude in the city, that we're going to go to the council and we're going to start, and you're there, like you said, 5 hours, and nobody comes like we do and talks to you, or nobody says, "Hey, wait up." You don't get that. They're like, "Okay, next, 3 minutes, next, get off, 3 minutes," So here is where we need to bring those people in each of your wards. If you hear anybody having an issue where you live or in your ward, tell them, show up to the meeting. Bring that issue to us so we can advise, resolve, and we may prevent it from going to council. A lot of times we do, because we have all the most important people here. What we need to realize is that fire, police, and public works, that's our city.
Yep.
We're the most powerful commission. We have the most large responsibility here in the city.
Yep.
The city doesn't run without police, fire, and public works. Trees, streets, fires, police, safety. We are a very important commission.
Amen.
So if we see you out at events, it's great. I'm there and I'll go, I'm here. I'll see Carrington, I'll see whoever, and I'm out there. Hey, we're here. What are we doing? What do we, let's work. Like Chief said, we have to work together. It's the only way the city's going to get stronger. We have to work together. We have to build those bridges. And I get what you're saying about bridges, because there's a lot of broken bridges here in the city.
Yeah.
And we do need to work to do that. So I'm real glad that we have this discussion. I feel like we're moved forward, even though our new election chairs are coming up. So we may not be here, some of us may not be here next year if we get a new council member, right? Because they put us on here. But I hope that if the ones that aren't, which like my seat's up for my council member, and there's a few of us, that we continue to work in the community, and we continue to do what we're doing here on the commission, but in a broader sense, being that we're a resident in the city of San Bernardino.
Yes.
Right? There's a lot we can do. I was doing it before I came here, so I know that we can do it without being a commissioner. Even more so, because there's not so many restrictions. So, it's a little easier. So, okay, guys, if we're done with that, then we'll move to items to be considered on future agendas. And there's the chief's interview by the Center reporter. That's Commissioner Guzman.
Yes.
He wants that on the next agenda, right? So we motion to.
Yeah, so he can,
He can explain.
He can explain what he wants to
What you want
discuss,
to
and
put
then
on
you
that
guys
agenda.
decide if
So-
that's something you want to discuss further, then somebody, moves to
put it on the agenda.
put it on the agenda, somebody seconds, and you to vote.
Okay, all right. The goal for this item is fuzzy in my mind, to be honest with you, but basically I would like to solidify some kind of resolution for the council to take on in praise of the vision that Chief Goodman has expressed to the Sun newspaper. And that vision I find very positive. So let me just give you some brainstorm here. I came to the council not necessarily to always, 100% always be on the side of law enforcement. That does not mean adversarial. It means a balanced wisdom whenever law enforcement of any city, but especially ours, is in need of correction. My mission, as I understand it, is to come and offer some thoughts, corrective thoughts. And yet, I find through that newspaper reporting that we are on a right track. Let me go back a little and say that I've walked with anarchists in my previous job. I walked with them without being one myself. And they are adversarial. They are what Chief Goodman called the detractors. They are cynical. They want to take us down. And yet, they themselves see themselves as the reformers. May we, now that we're on our right path, discuss the ideas, vision that Chief Goodman had and propel it forward. What exactly to propose to the council, what language, I'm not sure, but let's take that vision and propel it to the council so that it can be solidified. That's what I'm asking. You know, positive and negative, I've said enough.
Okay, so,
Did I confuse?
Commissioner,
You can't
Is that, I was gonna
discuss
say,
it right
is
now.
that something this commission,
we can't discuss
Well, you
now.
can't discuss it right now.
We have
It's
to
just
vote to put it on
something,
the
I'll
he
move
just
to put it-
presented it.
I'll move to put it on the agenda.
Okay, so we have a motion to.
Okay, so we have a motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those for, okay. Aye, everyone?
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Okay, so that'll be moved to the agenda for discussion on our next meeting, right, Susie, for the next meeting? And we'll discuss further on how we can move that forward.
Good. I'm sorry, did you take a vote?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, and it was.
All were in favor.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, thank you, I didn't see.
And if we don't have any further, we're done for the night. So we'll call meeting to
Can I make one little announcement?
end.
It has nothing to really do with all this mess.
We'll close and then we can do it
Okay.
after. I appreciate it. Okay, and that's it, end of our meeting, right? Call to order, and don't leave, some of you have maps. Thank you.
Thank you.